to White Dragon Dojo. We're going to look at a Hanbo. This is really just an introduction one, and shortly this should be on our website. Once we've got the website up and running, you will see it down here. Follow the link and it will take you to it. Okay, Hanbo, what is it? I ask many people this question and you get the variety of it's a weapon. It's a tool, most definitely it's a tool. For me, probably it's the most practical and relevant tool that we use. When you look at a sword, it's not a tool. I was initially taught, yeah, it's a tool. Well, yeah, it is, but only for one thing, and that's for killing. This isn't. This is for walking. It's an aid to walking. So, really, the reasons that you need said aid is that you're, out in the country, you need something to trail break. But in real terms, it's probably because you've got some sort of reason to need to lean on a stick. So, okay, taking it past that then, this is Paul's. I haven't brought mine. In real terms, you obviously wouldn't then want to be leaning right down into it because it's too short for you. So, in real terms, hand by your side here, because allowing the fact that you're going to need to lean on your cane and you put your hand down, that should be where it is, so you can then lean into it and walk with it. It shouldn't be that you've got to really lean over, so you want to be straight. Okay. Originally I was told 3 foot. Same with Joe is 4 foot and Bo is 6 foot. Well, it actually works to your body dimensions. So if you make your own kit, then whether it's you actually go out and source the wood and make it yourself, or as I did originally, you go and buy a broom handle and you cut it to your size. So for a Hanbo, it's at your side, hand palm flat down on top of it. Joe to your armpit, and the bow to your height of your head, which is why you sort of see 5 to 6 foot written down most of the time for the size of a bow. Okay, so using our lovely stick. When we look at kami, I'm not going to go into this in too great a detail, so I'm just going to look at practicality. In Bujinkan or Kukishindenru, kami, you're going to see this, and I personally don't teach that way. That's great if you want to academically learn. In real terms, everything should come from here. All start should come from here. I don't do martial arts because it looks pretty and because I want to keep it in a box or put it up on the mantelpiece, and in all honesty, funnily enough, yeah, I'll teach the Japanese, but if you can't do the slap, then don't bother learning the Jap. It's pretty pointless. Not if you're looking for a real practical martial art. You've got to consider these things. Personally, I want to do this because it's a question of self-protection. So, especially when I get older, in our lives, this isn't a dig at MMA or anyone else that's so super fit and they're going to be fast and spinning around and stuff. Our health and our youth, fitness aren't consistent things in our lives. Things can happen. Most common of which is we get old, and we do get old. And if you get old, you're not going to be as fast as you were, in your early 20s. You're certainly not going to be probably as fit. Well, you might be. You might have great luck in that. But in real terms, both me and Paul are old and absolutely fucked. So, our joints are knackered, and this happens with serious training and life in general. So yeah, I don't bounce around all over the place. I know people that have had their backs broken and they still train. And no, they don't bounce around a lot, but personally, I would never want to mess with them because I know damn well that it's not about bouncing around. So, okay, we'll get past that sort of talk on the basics and principles. So, if Paul, can I borrow you just for a bit of practical sake so you can see how this is going to happen? It's all well and good that we go from traditional kami, Paul goes to punch me, and I move off and I strike. That's very good from that respect, and from Kami, lovely, nice and easy. It changes slightly when you're looking at a realist side of things. Because if I'm leaning on my cane slightly and Paul goes to attack me, it's not going to happen where I can then immediately, I'm not in the position straight away to be able to slide up. I have to make some slight hand adjustments. And this is taking me time to then relearn. So it's better if you start with this. It just makes sense to my mind. So as the punch comes in, I move off and my hands have already come down. I can come then up and strike, sorry, strike. This is just looking at the practicality of moving this. So what's happening is, forget the cane altogether, that as the punch is coming in, I'm moving off 45 degrees. Okay? The only difference is that moving is obviously the most essential. And it could be, if you're incredibly infirm, keep this in mind, bad leg, not possible, as the punch comes in, I'm rolling off, cane, in, forwards, hit. Just to consider that if you're old and you're thinking, I can't do martial arts, so of course you can. No, just kidding. Okay, so the way that we do the hand slide is from here I move, drop. If you're considering for the fact that's too slow, that's cool. As the punch comes in, come off, strike. It's the same method. I'm coming from here, as I'm coming back. Okay, so the hand's just coming off. Nice and simple. So okay, basic strikes to practice. That's going to be my target coming. Okay. Now, yes, I know Paul isn't fighting back, and yes, I know he's just stood there being compliant. Okay, this is an often criticism about Bujinkan. Paul could go for it hammer and tongs. So could I. It's going to hurt. Okay, and you're not going to learn anything. You're going to end up with a broken training partner, and where's that going to get you? Especially when you're using something like this, which in first strike that we'll look at. This is going to be a broken sternum. I come in, I strike into the sternum here. Now, note the fact of the Hanbo is supported in on my rib cage. My forearm is holding it in tight there, so it can't move. It's not like this, which although yes, you could cause some damage, it's got too much chance of crumpling outwards, which I don't want. I want control. So, my first strike comes through and into the sternum. Okay. And the other side. Here, forward, strike. Now, this hand I don't leave waving in the air, because if Paul were to move, then I need to make sure I've got this one so I can then change things. Don't attack an old person, Sonny. So, okay. Our principles don't change. Okay. So if I am going to be doing my strikes, I need to move. I do need to move. I don't stand still and just rely on this. I mean, admittedly, if Paul wants to come through and attack on a straight line, that's fine. I only have to move just a little bit. Hands up to cover. He's just got a broken sternum. That's fine. Back, crack. What I want you to think about really is the practical use of why we've got this cane. Yeah, I'm not going to look at kata, not even looking at kamo, just looking at the fact of what this is actually about. Okay? Before you start writing and going, it's not kata, that's not in the tradition, then. No, it's not. Bujinkan's progressive art, and as such you've got to look at it in real terms. I don't know which country you live in, but I'm damn sure carrying a katana isn't legal. I doubt that you're likely to be carrying one. In our country, now if you're caught carrying a knife, you're looking at prison time if you haven't got a good reason for carrying it. You know, and that's just a basic lock knife. This, in real terms, is as far as I can work out the only thing you're likely to have that ain't, you know, actual. Yeah, it's considered as an offensive weapon. Well, admittedly, you don't use it as such, you're not going to get done for it, but, you know, if it comes down to defending yourself, then do what you need to. So, Okay. So distance is obviously different. If I'm striking with this distance here is distinctly longer distance than my arm. Okay. So if I'm targeting with Paul, and Paul's punching to here, there's no point in me moving to here, because if I strike out, I'm well beyond target. So, okay. So as Paul punches me, I come out and strike. I'm striking to the underside of the elbow here, knock this up. This is going to break that one. Now, basic movement, come through, grab here, strike down into the necklace side. So it's basically almost a sword cut, only obviously you're not cutting. So, we'll look at that as our basic inside and outside. So punch comes in, I move out, strike. Come up to this point here and strike down. And it's not just doing this, it's doing this. Okay, this is how I generate my power. Same principle as to the outside. The punch comes in, move out, strike through. What's your nose? As I said, this isn't about learning kata. This is just knowing that, you know, I have practical sense of it. Okay, so basic striking. We looked at the two, which is coming up and going back. Okay. Next basic strike we'll look at is we're going to strike to the temple. Obviously this will work to other parts of the body, but we're just going to keep this nice and basic. So from here through, striking to the temple. Okay. So this is about practice. When you start off and you're actually using a training partner, try and use a padded Hanbo, it does hurt. You know, you're looking at an awful lot of momentum right on the end of a stick. And it's getting about your target and knowing what you're going to hit. Okay, let's just look at one more thing, just for a taster, because it's a good bit of fun. Okay, if I say don't like the local hoodie teenagers, and I'm walking down the street, you know, and my hoodie teenager, annoying neighbour's coming through, I was going to say just minding his own business actually, and I wanted to beat him up.
Give some money, James.
So I'm going down, I don't like the look of him, I think he's threatening, come through here. From here I can quite happily come down, handstand, and take it. And if we really don't like him, yeah, exactly. This is just a bit of fun. So basically this is about timing and knowing when the person's walking towards you that you catch them there, and then I can just come back down and through. And carry on walking. This is just a bit of fun, as I said. Knowing the skill of someone, I know a guy who years ago didn't really use weapons at all. Put a weapon in his hands, he could use it absolutely fine. It tells a lot about the person's skill because it should only be an extension of what you do anyway. You know, using this, the way I've just used it on Paul's leg, is really no different from this. There's no difference. So that's just for a bit of fun. Yeah, keep an eye on down here for the website link, and yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye bye.